Hello people, you're welcome back to the channel. It's your one and only Lady Jackson bringing you this update on the Big Brother Naija Season 8 All-Star Season Day 3 as they eat it hot. Because damn, is it even up to 48 hours? That's what I'm saying, Day 3. They started halfway of Sunday. Either ways, anyways, in this video we can see how Kiddwaya and Doyin are getting very intimate. We can see, Angel and Soma becoming something, and then Cross moving in strongly on Ceec. It's like these guys are playing a draft game or a game of chess or something. However way that it is, we love to see it. Anyways, now guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. If you're not new, just make sure that you watch this video till the end, because I'm going to be unloading all that, and let's get right into it. And so starting with Kidwaya and Doyin, we can see that from the first day at around the nighttime when they were having their dinner, he was playing around with every other girl, but he was intentional about her. Now, this is a girl he had said has a strong sexual appeal, right? A strong appeal, like that. And then that didn't end. Almost every morning. Now, many of the housemates, the females, they don't easily quickly go and do makeup. But because Doyin is drawn to the good English speaking guys, Kidwaya, Ike, and I think one other guy, and she's just so drawn to them, but her eyes are really on Kidwaya. She's doing extra to get the attention, and indeed he is getting, because this morning as they were having their breakfast on the dining, they started having some flirty talks where she was like, do you think you can hold me well? Do you think you can hold my body? And he's like, he's got big arms. And when he grabs her, when I hold you, you will not be able to last. Yeah, exactly. That was how he said it. That when he's intentional about her, when he handles her, she will not be able to handle it. That she was going to tap out. And I'm like, okay, where's this conversation going into? And this was the same conversation he and two other guys had. I think he and Cross and was it Pere or another guy, they had a conversation about how the girl and Ilebaye have strong energies, but they would not last in the end. And I'm like, okay, no problem. If that's what y'all think, I cannot wait to see it go down, because ooh la la. Anyways, moving on from that. The tension between the ladies who have stronger energies is building, and this time it was Doyin against Bbnaija8. Now, of course, they were on the dining table. They had their breakfast. In the breakfast, I think Uriel prepared one of the meals, or all of the meals, I cannot remember, but I think it was Uriel and WhiteMoney. WhiteMoney prepared egusi with eba, somewhat of that like, and then I think Uriel prepared rice and something else and a sauce. And then before some were eating already, Bbnaija had eating, and there was like a smoothie she was drinking that was on the dining table. Now, just recall that many of the housemates, especially Angel, maybe Tolanibad and Bbnaija or Doyin, had complained about flies being in the house, and they needed something or some way to extinguish them. And then it turns out that on Bbnaijaa's cup of smoothie that was not finished, a fly had perched on the mouth side, the lips of it. And then in a way that came out as a saucy thing, Doyin was like, who has this thing here? She was like, are they done with this thing? Referring to the cup of drink. And here was Bbnaija looking at her, and Bbnaija was like, you know what? It is the fact that Bbnaija had already prayed that nobody should provoke her, that the Lord should guide her mouth, her hands, her lips, and everything on how to react to offenses. And Bbnaija was just casually saying, well, it is not yours, so mind your business and stuff. Now, Bbnaija didn't know that flies had perched on it. So it was after the little bit of tense back and forth between her and Doyin that Doyin was like, oh, well, I'm just saying because I had seen flies perch on this thing. So I was like asking so that the person who had it, if they were still going to take from it, they should dispose of it because flies had perched on it. Now, of course, after that conversation, we saw where Bbnaija went to the kitchen area with her bestie per se, whom she doesn't know has spoken behind her back. That was she. And she was like, that girl has bad mouth though, but God should help her to control herself or else she's going to tame her. And I'm like, drama. And now talking about love interest and shifts. Ooh la la. Can you guys see how Soma-Angel has taken over the angel scenario? Now, of course, y'all can remember the last night or very early this morning, Soma-Angel went to meet Cross after knowing the history of Cross and Angel from the previous season and like from their own season, right? And then the fact that, you know, Cross had always had a thing for her. He had even stated it to some of the male housemates. So Cross went to take, Soma-Angel went to take permission from Cross that he wants to moving on, Angel, and he needed his blessing or permission, which was actually given because at the time, or at this time, Cross is actually feeling Ceec, and Ceec is blushing at every little thing that this guy was saying about her or the experience around each other. And then here was Soma-Angel and Angel, they were having a conversation, and he was like, how do you feel? What's your personality like? How did the previous, like the season where you were on, how did they affect you? Like, these guys were having this cozy conversation in an intense moment under the same duvet in the room alone. This is how the love begins. This is how it all starts. Oh, we love to see. We love to see. Oh. And everything they were saying, I didn't really care. I was looking at the TV to see if anything was moving yet. Yes, y'all know me. I like action. And talking about love interest, are we going to ignore this? After Cross was being told by Tolani Badge that Ceec was blushing when he was introducing himself on the first night, he had decided that, you know what, I've had eyes for this girl and I'm really going into it. So they were seen in the gardening area where they were on one of those couches that looks like bed and you're laying down and having a conversation. And it turns out that he had spotted her at a particular party of a family friend, like his friends too. A certain family, all the kids in a family in Abuja, and he was like asking her, how often do you actually come to Abuja? And she's like, off and on, although Abuja is chill. I like quite noisy, colorful places like Lagos, but I have my good friends in Abuja. And then he was now like, you know what, I met you sometime, you were wearing an Ankara at so-and-so birthday. And she was like, oh my God, yes. Oh, who is your friend there? And he was like, everybody. And that was how the conversation started. And he moved on from there to him asking her, like, what kind of places, like, does she like what does she enjoy? And she was like, she likes traveling around, and the best was her Europe tour last year with her boyfriend, and everything was a highlight. They moved, she was at Pere, she was at Amsterdam, she was at this place, she was at that place. She was just calling names. I'm like, okay, girl, you just mentioned the names because I'm gonna be in that country very soon, because damn. And she was indicating how she carried a big huge box, and her boyfriend took a small box of clothes. Like, she doesn't even know how guys do that. And then the conversation went on to him talking about the fact that he was also on a Europe tour and that he has friends almost everywhere in Europe, in the Americas, in Africa, and he just spots people because he is a people person. He was at Ibiza and a whole lot of them, and then that was where he shockingly met Kidwaya at Ibiza, where Kidwaya was shouting his name, hey, what's up, what are you doing here, and all that. Anyways, the good part of this conversation is the fact that they went on to start touching faces, placing hands on each other's body, and then of course Cross was like, if our pool party is on Friday, I'll provide you breakfast. And she's like, every day. And he's like, no baby, chillax. And Ceec was like, no, not breakfast. I want you to massage me everywhere. My waist, like everywhere. I want you to massage, and that's what I want. And he's like, for one day. And she's like, yeah, just for one day. And Cross was like, if it's not on Thursday and you massage me tonight. And she's like, yeah, I got you. And Cross is like, yeah, make me breakfast next 2 weeks. next week 2 times out of the 7 days. So choose the day. And Frodd is like, what type of massage? Because Frodd actually came to that place. I was listening to their conversation. And Ceec was like, anywhere you want, right? Anywhere I say, you touch. And I'm like, okay. This conversation is going to permanent site. This is the kind of content that I like, aside the drama and chaos.